Few musical posters are as iconic as the one from Wicked, but when one fan fixed the poster for the upcoming movie by photoshopping it to look how it honestly should have looked all along, star Cynthia Erivo threw a major hissyfit, and, in a roundabout way, accused the fans of being, well, Rossicists wanting to erase her. That was something of an overreaction, which is backfiring tremendously, to the point where even John Campea is less excited about the movie now. But in the process, he also revealed a major double standard common among those of the Hollywood mindset. Let's dive in. Let's establish right away that this fan poster was made by someone who obviously loves the musical and who evidently is, or at the very least was, excited for the movie and made this fan version as a tribute to the musical and as an expression of love, joy, and hype from the fans. The correct response from anyone involved with the movie to such fan enthusiasm is to share it and say something along the lines of, "This is awesome. Wicked has the best fans, and we can't wait for you to see our movie." See, a simple response like that is something that is going to build up hype even further. But instead, Cynthia Erivo, who I guess must be conditioned to see everything through an identitarian lens, decided to interpret this expression of fan excitement as a personal offense. She said in her social media, "This is the wildest, most offensive thing I have seen, equal to that awful AI of us fighting, equal to people posting the question, 'Is your pussy green?' None of this is funny, none of it is cute, it degrades me, it degrades us." The original poster is an illustration. I am a real-life human being who chose to look right down the barrel of the camera to you, the viewer, because without words, we communicate with our eyes. Our poster is an homage, not an imitation. To edit my face and hide my eyes is to erase me, and that is just deeply hurtful. And then she followed that up with reposting the original image, saying, "Let me put this right here to remind you and cleanse your palette." In reality, of course, all she achieved was ensure that no one will be able to look at that poster again, because now all anyone will be able to see is an actress looking directly at you, with accusation in her eyes. However, she did not get a lot of support, even from quarters where one would expect support to be forthcoming. Among those who did not take kindly to Cynthia Erivo's broad accusation against the fans was John Campea, who had this to say.
"She's going to be perfect in this role. This movie's going to be so much fun, and this big positive wave of energy and momentum has been going. The ticket pre-sales, the trailers have been great. We're getting closer to the release date. Nothing can stop the Wicked train. Except maybe the people driving the Wicked train. Because in one of the biggest dolt-headed exhibits of stupidity I've seen exhibited by a movie star in a while, as far as self-sabotage and killing the vibe of your own movie, our poster is an homage, not an imitation. To edit my face and hide my eyes is to erase me. And that is just deeply hurtful. I'm calling bullshit on so many levels of this nonsense. First of all, I want you to recognize the tone of this. The tone of this is, Wicked is not your thing, everybody. Wicked is not a thing that you have loved and that you have embraced and that you have gone to see time and time again, long before I ever had this role. It's mine. Wicked is about me. This is my movie. And all you little nerdlings out there, best damn respect that this is my movie. I don't give a shit about the classic look of the poster. And I don't give a shit, no, you do not deface it. You're erasing me.
I think Campea's sentiment on this topic is one many fans of Marvel and Star Wars in particular will agree with, as they have lived through just this more times than can be counted. But if you think this would make Campea any more sympathetic towards other fan bases who have been similarly accused for no reason, think again.
This has been made and shared around the internet by people who are excited for this movie and can't wait to see Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande playing it. This is not a situation like unfortunate ones we see sometimes in Star Wars movies or Marvel movies where there are people who are just straight up already against it because of their own basement-dwelling pathologies, and they're already against it and they hate it and they're trying to poop. No, this is something that's being done and shared around by people who are excited and positive and can't wait and love this thing and all that kind of stuff. And it's a fake-made thing. This happens with every movie.
Do this a few more times to the Wicked fans, and you'll find them transforming into the Star Wars and Marvel fans that Campea speaks so brazenly about before you know it. Because they have the love for their brand of choice in common. That's what so many of the Hollywood mindset just fail to see. What was just done to Wicked fans is the literal exact same thing that has been done to Star Wars and Marvel fans over and over and over again. And the people of the Hollywood mindset just don't see that. This is the double standard I was talking about. Despite now suddenly having been on the receiving end of entirely unfair accusations, something Mr. Campea clearly did not appreciate, nor did he appreciate to witness a fragile ego lash out this way. There seems to be little understanding that this is literally the exact same thing that fans of Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and many other franchises have been subjected to, and with the help of the entirety of the entertainment media complex to boot. I mean, there's no difference between what Cynthia Erivo stated here, the diss track Amanda Stenberg leveled at Star Wars fans, or for that matter, the hostage video Ewan McGregor was forced to make on Moses Ingram's behalf. Only this time, the blanket accusation is aimed at another fanbase, one the Hollywood crowd feels closer aligned with, so now they feel it's directed at them, so now it's not cool anymore. Otherwise, this is no different from any previous misguided attack on the fans. The common denominator here is that despite claims of lots and lots of various abuse, there is little to no evidence of it to be found in any public fora, certainly not enough to warrant any kind of blanket statement accusations leveled against the fanbase at large. The most recent prime example here is Amanda Stenberg of Star Wars The Acolyte fame. She claimed far and wide that she had received so much hate that she made a diss track against the fans because of it. Yet no one could see any evidence of any of this alleged hate in any public forum. Indeed, later in that 8-minute borderline narcissistic video following the Acolyte's cancellation, she inadvertently clarified that what she had chosen to interpret as loads and loads of hate was in fact the negative reviews of the show that never had anything to do with her personally. But, like Cynthia Erivo, it would appear Stenberg is also conditioned to see everything through an identitarian lens, so she chose to interpret any commentary on the show as a personal attack on her, which it wasn't. But she stated that it was, and thus she, and the entirety of the entertainment media complex with her, accused damn near the entirety of the Star Wars fanbase of being toxic. All because she chose to interpret justified criticism of the show as a personal attack, which it never was. How many times have you heard that phrase, toxic fans? But it is just a projection. In reality, it is the creators, and sometimes talent, that are toxic. Toxic creators intentionally create divisive content with an ideopolitical slant that normal, well-adjusted people find to be abhorrent, and then they project their own toxicity upon the fans when they rightfully reject the propaganda they're being served. That's when toxic talent respond to the entirely justified fan rejection by taking it personally, and then they lash out at fans again. That's the tried and tested way of making the once biggest entertainment brands in the world crumble into irrelevance, while the media blames the fans every step of the way. Well, this time it was John Campea and others of the Hollywood mindset that got a little taste of what they themselves have been party to doing unto others. Let me know in the comments if you think this realization ever will dawn on them. Also, before you go, if you haven't heard, we just launched a new channel, Midnight's Edge Retrospectives and Classics, a channel where there will be no movie news, no divisive studio politics, and no culture war content. Only in-depth retrospectives of the coolest movies ever made, and in these we go deeper and more comprehensive than any retrospective ever has before. And we just launched our retrospective of the original 1922 Nosferatu, and the fascinating story behind the movie, as well as Bram Stoker's widow's campaign to hunt down and incinerate every copy of it in existence. In addition to that, we also released the full, unabridged movie in 4K, and with our own presentation, featuring our own newly translated intertitles based on the original German ones, our own brand new score and instrumentation, and even more importantly, we have restored the original color tints to the closest they have been to director F.W. Murnau's original vision since the 1922 premiere. So, check out Midnight's Edge Retrospectives and Classics for the Nosferatu experience. Link is in the description.